Hello and welcome to TPT Chats, our journey and your next steps. So today we're going to be talking about premium accounts versus basic accounts. And I'm Annette from Count on Coop, and I create math resources for my TPT store, and I also teach others how to create their own resources.
And I'm Malia, and I help teachers start and grow their profitable TPT stores so they can share their resources with teachers around the world and make some money doing it.
Awesome. So today we're going to be talking about premium accounts versus the basic seller accounts. So backtrack a little bit. Let's talk about the history. So back in the day when I started, a very long time ago, Um, the premium account was 59.99. I think it was that
Mhm.
when I started as well. And then the basic account was free.
Yeah,
So
same here.
when I started with the basic account. When I first said I'm going to be a seller, I started with the
Same.
basic account.
Well, actually, you probably did this too, but I started with a buyer account and you could upgrade
Oh,
that to a seller. So I was obviously, I buy from TPT, so I had the buyer account. And in order to become a seller, you just switch to the basic just to try it out.
yep, that's exactly what I did. I was like, yeah, I can buy stuff on here and might as well try making a dollar or two, right? Because
Mhm.
that's all I thought I was going to make when I first started.
Yep. Yeah, for me, when I started, I had the premium, or sorry, I had the basic. I didn't switch to the premium until I sold my first product. Because when I sold my first product on there, it was probably like maybe not even $2 at that point.
Mhm.
And seeing how much was actually taken out and how much I took home was very sad because I spent a lot of time making these things, even if I had made them before and I made them into digital. To have
Yeah.
it for $2 for a teacher is a great deal. But for what I was getting in return, I was kind of sad about it. So I switched to premium very quickly, probably like within the first 2 weeks of switching to the seller account.
Yes, I actually just looked. I'm just looking right now at my dashboard to see what my first sale actually was, and it was 90 cents. That's what I took home, and that was with not a premium account. So I think I sold one, two, three, four items, four before I upgraded to my premium seller account. So I started on July 1st, basically, of
Mhm.
2017, and I sold four items. And then on July 16, I was like, forget this. I'm making like no money off of it. So after those four items, I was like, oh, if I can sell four, I can sell $60 worth. And that's kind of my mindset. I was like, all I have to do is sell $60 worth within a year.
Yeah, and I think that's something that a lot of new sellers, obviously $60 is expensive for many
Mhm.
people, especially if you're not making the money yet. But if
Mhm.
you are in this for the long term and you know that I am going to be on TPT sharing my resources and making money doing so, you're not going to make $60 immediately within your first month and paying it off. But think about it as it is annual. So what?
Mhm.
Math teachers here. So $60, 12 months, that's $5 a month. That's
Mhm.
just maybe a couple products once a month, or maybe some months you sell five things and another month you sell one thing. But you can make that return on your investment very quickly with the premium and make way more because the commission is actually a lot higher. So with the premium, it's 80% that you take home and CPT takes home 20% for the premium. Now the basic, when it was, I believe this is true when it was free, and now when it's not free, and we'll talk about that in a second, your payout rate is 55%. So you keep 55%, TPT keeps 45%. So that's like almost half. And there's that
Mhm.
30-cent transaction fee on every resource, not like just whatever the buyer purchased in their cart, but it's every single resource. So that's a lot.
When you're talking about $3 resources, which most of my resources are around the $3 mark, 30 cents is a lot of money to take off of
Mhm.
that. I mean, yeah. So
Plus
it's,
45% off.
yeah.
That's a lot. So,
Hmm.
and when you are a premium seller, if the buyer's cart, which I like about this, if the buyer's cart is less than $3, so let's say they just had my $2 resource in their cart and they purchased my one thing for $2, less than $3, I am hit with a 15-cent transaction fee. Um, but if the buyer buys two of my resources and it's still under $3, I'm still only hit with a 15-cent fee once, not per resource, but per transaction. But if the buyer buys my $2 resource and your $2 resource, the buyer's cart is $4, right? 2 plus 2 is 4. And then neither of us are hit with that transaction fee at all. So we actually really do get to keep that 80%. So
Mhm.
I mean, math wise, it seems like a no-brainer for me, especially if I know I'm doing this over the long term.
Yeah, I agree. I actually ended up making my money back within the first 2 months. So it was definitely, I mean, that was a cool moment. I don't think that happens for everybody, but by that time I was like, I'm gonna be in this. I'm in this for the long haul now.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's so much fun getting those cha-chings and knowing that, oh, 80% of that is mine. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a
Mm-hmm.
really nice feeling. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you knew this. It's actually not free anymore as of like January, February 2024. So during that time, there was a lot of spam stores that were not honest stores, not real stores, AI bots, things like that. So TPT cracked down and got rid of them. And to deter people from creating these types of stores, they had a one-time non-refundable fee of $29 that you had to pay to just start your store. So there's no more free stores, but I kind of don't mind that. I don't know about you, because that tells me that people who want to be on TPT and sell on TPT, they're in it. They're in it for real, and they know it's going to pay off.
Yeah, I mean, even that $30, I think would you would make back within like the first year. Now, the tricky part about that, I think you were mentioning that if you then upgrade. So what for me, when I upgraded, I was like, oh, I'm basic, which was free. And then I upgrade, I only paid the $60. But now what happens?
So yeah, if you start your store now in 2025 or later, you will have to pay that $29 fee. It's non-refundable and it's basic. So it's the basic seller account. It's all the other things, but you have to pay $29. So 55% commission or 55% goes to you, and you have that 30 cents on every resource. And if you ever want to upgrade because you're tired of getting 30-cent fees and not making a lot on each purchase, and you want to upgrade to $60, you have to pay that $60 on top of it. That $29 does not go towards your $59 premium seller account annual fee, which kind of stinks that you're paying like $90 to really get started. But again, you can make that back very easily with that 80% when you are a premium seller. Um, I know. It's good pros and cons of this whole situation.
To say, I think it would have been a harder decision for me to start if I had the choice between 30 and $60, knowing that it could be 90 if I upgraded. Like that would have been a little bit more of a difficult decision. But I mean, I upgraded within the first, 15 days that I was a seller. So
Mhm.
I think if you're serious about selling, I would just jump right to the premium.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're technically saving $30 if you start with
Mm,
premium, and you can probably make those $30 with that extra commission anyway. So
yeah.
yeah, I totally agree. Highly recommend starting premium from the start. It's not going to be, I mean, $60, yes, but it's in a year, $5 a month, $5 a month. That's all it is.
Bingo.
So that's how I like to think about it. I just have to make
Yes.
$5 a month.
So what do you think? What do you think about premium versus basic? So this was our third TPT chat, our journey, your next step, and we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, feel free to send us an email or send us a DM on our socials in the links below.